In the last one, I'm gonna get mine. Look at the drum, if you can't do it, someone don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you're living like a clown and you're fool, bitch. But just the fact, or a man that did not calm down, set. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now a man is out, and I'm like that. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I think. Let's go. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Back on the scene, it's time to get lead of a lead. Revolution machine. For what people say, they stay, they slay. What today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly distressed, resist. Raise your fist and walk like this. Promises all the time. Trust the line. See that was right. Something in your wrist. Something in your wrist. Something in your wrist.
Welcome to the Ignorance is No Excuse podcast planning for July 10th. Yay!
Yay! We're so happy to be here today. What
Hello,
is the
Honey
date?
Bee. Good morning.
Hi, from Oregon. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Oregon Bee.
Oregon honeybee. You know, it's so cool to be a honeybee because all the things that they're doing for honeybees right now, Oregon is actually, they made a honeybee license plate.
Nice.
I'll be getting that. Yeah, you have to sign up for it right now. So,
Are honeybees in Oregon called Horigans?
no, that's what
No,
they call them in Jersey.
Honeygan. No, it's Honeygans.
Honeygans. Like Oregon. Honeygon.
Honeygon.
The honey is gone. So we need to bring it back.
I need you to host the show because my tent's going to blow away. I don't know if you can see this, but
okay.
I'm nervous right now. I may jump.
Oh, no. You need to get some weights. You need to get those weights.
I need the weights.
You need the weights. They have those nice weights that Velcro around each pole.
The waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah. Waiting. There's different types of waiting.
We're
waiting. You get it? We're waiting for home grow.
Waiting for home grow. Waiting here at the State House right now for home grow.
Waiting. We're still waiting.
Still waiting for home grow. It's still illegal to grow cannabis in New Jersey. You thought you legalized cannabis? Ha! You didn't legalize nothing. It's still illegal. Cancer patients go to jail for 5 years for growing weed. So what kind of crap is that?
Yeah.
You think we'd be out here if it wasn't legal?
Look at this cute little plant. What's wrong with this plant? I don't see. Everyone should like it. This is a great, we got to wear it as beautiful as we got to make it as beautiful as roses. Look, see my tattoos? We just need to take the stigma out of cannabis and the leaf and just make it as normal as a beautiful rose. There's nothing wrong with that. Roses don't help us get better. They just make us think, happy thoughts. Cannabis actually goes in the body and helps us feel better. And it's very unfortunate that there's a lot of people out there still that don't believe that cannabis helps you. I am about ready to get really mad at those people because I have tried.
I've tried too.
I've tried not to
hard.
use it. I've tried.
It's very hard to deal with ignorant people too.
It is because some people are very one-sided and and sometimes you can't even talk to those people. Sometimes they just are one way and that's the only way that it's going to be. And that's the only way that they know. And so therefore they can't listen. They're not open to new ideas, which is very unfortunate because I ran into someone, one of my old acquaintances doesn't believe me that cannabis is helping me with pain, anxiety, staying sober from alcohol. I'm almost 18 months sober from alcohol.
That's
and
amazing.
Cannabis has helped me. I'm crying now because
It's a big deal. It's 18 months of your life right now you got back that you wouldn't have had.
yeah, it helped me quit cigarettes. It helped me quit alcohol, which quit helping me quit alcohol helped me quit so many things in my life, like toxic relationships, thinking I'm not, alcohol does weird things to your brain and it messes it up after a while because you hide those. With alcohol, you're trying to cover up things and get rid of things and not think about things. And all it does is it keeps it hidden inside you. And then when you're sober, it comes out, which is good, but it's hard. It's hard. And through cannabis, I have been able to maintain my sobriety. And I'm
Really
here
Yep, go ahead.
today to prove it. Huh? What?
Very upsetting to see people have no problem going to a bar or a restaurant that serves booze. Deadly alcohol.
Deadly. It's deadly.
Deadly, toxic, addictive drug, alcohol. But when I want to go to a pot festival or something like that, oh, that's bad. That's bad. There's people smoking pot there.
Right.
What?
You're right.
But it's okay to go to a bar where people are going to drink and kill each other.
Right.
By driving or killing their liver.
And in the Bible, it says to not get drunk. Having a glass or two occasionally, but not every day. When it starts to become an everyday couple drinks every day, then it's 3 drinks every day, then it's 4 drinks every day, and then it's 5 drinks every day, and then you're blackout drunk every day.
Then you're addicted.
And then you have a horrible pattern that's very hard to undo. So smoke cannabis, guys. Smoke it, love it, learn about it, because there are more properties to this plant than we even know. We're still discovering it because it's such a great plant that the government has decided to hide this from us because it works. And they want to profit from something that works. So we're here, nonprofit, trying to help people, teach people, be here for people, actually live the life that we are promoting. How many people promote something that they don't even live? Politicians, right, Lefty? So the politicians tell us this, and they probably don't even do one thing that they say. We're here to tell you that this plant works, and we're going to show you how it works. We're going to live on it. We're going to just do normal things on it. And, you know, there may be times where we say a few things that are off color or whatever. But generally, we go home at night. We don't stay up all night unless we're in pain. We're not getting into accidents. We're not causing fights unless it's with ignorant people who want to fight. We're here helping others, saying, here, this plant helps. This plant will make you better. This will help with your cancer. This will help with your seizures. This will help with your tremors. This will help with your anxiety. This will help you get off alcohol. This will. What this won't do is it won't do anything by itself if you don't help it. So we're here helping the sick and the dying. I am in Oregon. My name is Honeybee Thomas. Lefty Grimes is in New Jersey. And we're here together, alone, because we are actually the voice of many people. We have the heart and the love that for this plant, and we're trying to help others understand and recognize that this isn't evil. This is good. This is here to help you. The reason why everyone says that it's bad is because they want the money that comes with this. That's what makes it bad, is the money. But this isn't bad. This plant isn't bad. This is a beautiful, beautiful plant. And I'm selling these, by the way. So I can bring in some money. Well, I need to be able to, what Lefty and I do, we do this out of our pockets. What?
No, I'm telling my man here to help himself to some fruit. We have free fruit here.
Oh yeah, free
Yeah.
food, because we help. We're
Trying to
here
be
to
helpful.
help. We're trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
So
Here.
I have, oh, thank you.
Yeah, man.
So I have to go get my cannabis card this next month. So I'm gonna see if I can record that. I'm gonna get it at Paul Stanford's office. He has a medical cannabis office in his in Portland, Oregon. He has a doctor on site. He will help you get your medical cannabis card in Oregon. So Paul Stanford, if you need to get a hold of him, you can look him up on Facebook, Paul Stanford, or me, Honeybee Thomas, and I can help you get your medical card. He actually does it nationwide, I think. I can't remember. I think at one time he did, or he was doing it or something like that. We got to get him on the phone.
I sent him the link. I want to know more about the DPA and about George Soros.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how that company, the MSO or whatever it was that screwed him over.
Mm-hmm.
There's rich people that don't want you to have home grow, that don't
Oh
want
yeah.
to free this plant. They want to industrialize this plant. They don't want to free it for you. They don't want personal freedoms for you.
Right.
These billionaires, they want to just float around and look at the Titanic. That's the kind of money they got, where they want to just look at the Titanic. That's the kind of money these people got. No, let's not feed the poor. Let's not feed the poor. Let's not fix everything. Let's go look at the Titanic. For real?
Wow.
I hope they find him, and I hope they find him alive. But come on, man, that's rich people money, and that's why we have all these problems in the world. You have these rich people that have billions and billions of dollars that could fix these problems, but they don't. They don't fix them. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just confirmed with Paul that, see if he could be on.
Cool.
Oh, so here is a message from Garrett Angel. yesterday to confirm that we have magical butter machines to give away. This is from Garen Angel. We talk. And so he said, I'm so sorry it didn't get sent. My assistant has had a lot of family health issues, and I'm empathetic to her situation. I sent a message directly to our ship department. 2 magical butter care packages going to you and Lefty. Love you. Together we win. Garen Angel.
Wow.
So
cool.
I know this is for our 710. We are giving away magical butter machines. And how are we going to give those away, Lefty?
I don't know. Now you put me on the spot.
I know. Well, you know what? This is the way you like it. You like to be on the spot. So Lefty, go. How are we going to do this?
Yeah. How Runny B, how are we going to do it? Tell me right now.
Okay, this is how we're going to do it.
Let's ask Tony. Tony knows how to do this stuff.
Is Tony on?
So Tony will know. Tony, how
Tony,
do we
where's Tony? Where is Tony?
He's well, he's transporting in from another
Oh, is
planet.
he?
He's
You
in
know,
another planet.
He does come from aliens.
He does have
does.
alien blood, so he's probably on a ship
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah, look in the sky. Can you guys see it floating down? UFO. There's Tony. Oh, it's not unidentified. It's the Tony flying object. Oh, that's great. So I asked Paul if he could be on. Garen Angel. Oh, so I think, I don't know how we should give these away because I'm giving them away in Portland and we're giving them away in Jersey.
Okay, at your state house. So if you come to the state house in
Yes.
Oregon, you can have a chance to win if you come out. If you come
Yes.
out,
There you
gotta
go.
come out to the state house. Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
There you
so
go.
if you come out to the New Jersey State House, you can win
Enter
a magical
raffle.
butter machine.
Yes.
We'll have a raffle here for magical butter.
That's-
So if you go
there
out
you
to
go.
Oregon State House, you can win a magical butter machine at the Oregon State House. So there it
Go
is.
to Jersey, you can win it there too.
What about California?
And California will get one too. There's Tony. So
I don't see Tony.
California.
It's
So
a
Honeybee-
long,
There you
long trip from Sirius B. We should get a magical butter machine too.
Well,
Yes, they need
Tony,
one.
where have you been? I haven't seen or talked to you.
It's
You're just going to concerts.
it's the busiest. I'm not just going to concerts. I worked backstage for String Cheese for 6 days, and then I just raised $25,000 for cancer research and the Mendocino Land Trust doing a catering event.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't in my own bed for 17 days, and now I've
Oh,
been
my.
sleeping for several.
Several days.
I remember those times.
Oh, wow. String cheese. I heard they were good. I've never heard them.
They are very good. Yeah. My friend Lindsay runs the volunteer work crews for a lot of the big festivals here. So we all got
yeah.
backstage security jobs. So we
I
went
need to
and
come down there.
worked backstage and built the festival and everything.
Sweet.
But I'm tired, and now I have to
I
wake
bet.
up. I have to wake up. Well, I'm obviously awake. I'm talking, but I got to caffeinate to go pick up a box truck rental with a lift gate, and we just bid on and won. Well, we didn't pay this much, but it's like $100,000 worth of laboratory equipment to build a whole entire mycology lab up here in Santa Rosa.
Ooh.
That's exciting. I can't wait
Yeah,
to come visit.
Yeah, we got huge developments coming out up here.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
But then it's like I realize like I'm just making more work for myself. But that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. Keeps you busy, keeps you out of trouble, We got to keep you busy.
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
do
thing.
try.
You do a great job. I know. No, I see all of Lindsay's volunteer stuff, and I'm like, I want to go do that, but I don't.
Oh, that's
far
right. Yeah,
away.
I put you in touch with Lindsay. I forgot about that.
Yes,
Portland-
you remember?
Portland
We're
kid.
friends now. We're friends.
I just got to hang out with her all that. Not this past week, but the week before.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. I keep on wanting to volunteer at some of these things. It's just not quite working out, but I'll get
No,
to one of
I
them.
highly recommend it if you ever want to just like go and have like the real behind the scenes festival experience. She'll hook you up.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you got to work, but
Oh, yeah.
usually the work is not like serious physical labor. It's,
It's fun work. It's the work we want to do.
I told I was joking around with her at the last day at the String Cheese Festival, and Lindsay's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm very tired, Lindsay." I was like, "You've been making me work all week," and she's like, "What was your job? Sit at the desk and look pretty?" And I was like, "Looking pretty is hard work for me, Lindsay."
Yes, it is. Keeping those hairs in line.
But every experience I've ever had with her has always been absolutely amazing.
Oh,
Like just
Jesus.
to just go like 2 days early and watch the whole festival grow around you, and then see the whole festival from like backstage view and work and meet everybody and shake all the hands and hang out with the bands and stuff. It's really amazing.
Yeah, that's why I love to volunteer, because you get to meet the bands. You're like, I go right to VIP. Oh gosh. So Tony, how's your rally going for July 10th? Do you have
My
an
rally
update on
is
that?
awesome. I have a permit.
Oh,
I have a pop-up. I have a Zoom. I have a phone for a Zoom connection.
oh,
I
nice.
have a couple people that want to do little tiny speeches. I mean, I don't know how many people are actually going to show up. I still got to make a Facebook event page and really push the issue. But
Yeah, I do too. It's crunch time. We're down to crunch time now.
yeah, I know. I'm finally like after today, I have all this running around I got to do to pick up all this lab equipment and stuff. But
Yeah.
then if I survive today, then it's pretty much just turn my focus to 710.
Right. I finished my daughter's graduation. My daughter graduated with a bachelor's
Nice.
degree of science. She is, that was really exciting. I had both my ex-husbands there. My second ex-husband said, "Oh, I'm going to the graduation." I said, "Oh, good, I can sit by you." And he's like, "Oh, why? Because one ex-husband isn't enough?" I'm like, "You're such a dick." And this is why we're divorced. But anyways, it was a good thing. It was good.
Well, I'm glad that you graduated. That's always a good thing after you put all that time and effort in.
Right. And now she got accepted into pharmacy school. So I'm going to have a doctor for a
A
daughter.
doctor.
A doctor in the house.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Ooh. My pen is all fucking okay. Lefty.
So on Friday, there's a hearing for home grow in New Jersey. Can you believe it? They gave us 2 days notice.
What?
Yeah. There's
2 days notice?
A hearing. It's for the recreational one. It's recreational and patients. Patients get 12 plants. Adults get 6. And then Monday, there's a hearing on mushrooms.
Oh, what?
Hold on. Yeah, mushrooms. And you get home grow mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
That's quite a lot on the agenda there.
I wish I would have known. That's why they only gave you 2 days, because if I would have known, I'd have flown in for that.
Can you believe
you still
that?
Can.
No, I can't. I'm got endless work to do out here. I do actually have to. I do have to come back. I have some medical issues I got to deal with. I'm going to come back to Penn and Jefferson, but I can't do it that fast.
Well then.
But yeah, a Friday home grow and a Monday mushroom. Like if I would have had better notice, I probably would have come home for that.
Right?
Yeah, they knew, didn't they?
I can't make it. I can't make Friday. I'm going to Bridge Fest. So I'm gonna be busy.
Oh wow.
Well, what's today? What's today? Thursday? So tomorrow you're talking. Tomorrow is the home grow thing.
Yes.
Stupid.
I know. And it's never on Friday. They never do
Oh.
this stuff on Friday. It's always Monday or Thursday.
Well, yeah, because
Oh,
they're trying
wow.
to make it so the least amount of people show up.
Oh, they're awful. Jim will
That
be there.
sounds like a classic Scutari move to me.
Yep. That's how they get you, keep you on your toes, huh?
Yes, sir. Hello, Michael Brennan. How are you, sir?
Oh, good afternoon or good morning.
Good morning still.
Hi.
Hey, what you up to?
Welcome.
Yeah, they snuck that home grow bill in on Friday. Are you gonna go?
Yeah, I'm even preparing some. There's like an invite thing, but yeah,
Awesome.
we're all planning on showing up and support. Although that I've been to the sausage factory so much over the past couple decades. The part of the cynicism comes up where, okay, they got to throw this out to give some red meat to the home grow people because Monday is when the psilocybin bill is coming up. And that is by invitation only.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Even if you do show up, they won't be taking public comments. It doesn't mean you still can submit written testimony. All right. And they need to hear from patients and how this has positively changed their life. There's so many stories, especially with psilocybin. But what we need to focus on is this short little, what do you call it, lame duck of hearing. I think that they're to placate us so we don't start chomping on people's throats when psilocybin gets the okay for home grow, and we're still like, wait a minute, you mean I might as well be making meth in my bathtub and it's the same charge? So yeah, that's what we're going back and forth with that. So and that's between my ears, by the way. Who knows what shows up in reality tomorrow? That's why they call it the sausage factory. How about you? What do you?
is there medicinal meth? Is there cannabinoids in meth?
There is medicinal meth. It's called Adderall.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple other versions of it as well. Just like the medicinal marijuana was originally called Marinol, right? Yeah, we just got to get a patent on it. We'll be good. So you're out on the lawn today, huh?
Yeah, but it's kind of a crummy day, so really nobody here. I'm hoping Hippie comes out, Urban Hippie.
That'd be cool. Although I know they're all set for the weekend. It's the weekend,
Oh
so I need
man,
to be preparing for that as well.
was
Yeah, I
there
feel
last
bad.
week.
It's Beard Fest weekend down there in South Jersey, and I heard the weather is crummy.
Yeah, but it is Beard Fest. I mean,
It-
heavy rain are we supposed to be getting? Is it just blowing today? I got to check the weather for that.
Which is now I hate Scutari even more for making this last minute home grow provision, because I could have flown home for that, went to Beard Fest, and then showed up Monday for the psilocybin thing. I think they go out of their way to keep me out of New Jersey.
Well, don't just start pointing fingers at people and throwing. They're just get up and get your ass in here.
I have so much I'm doing. I can't just drop to Jersey on one day notice. It's tough.
Just get your ass there. Don't worry about it.
Lefty, send the helicopter. If you send the helicopter, I'll come home.
Remember, the difference between an advocate and an activist, pretty much the activist has money for bail. And someone that'll show up to pay it. Hold on. And move this. I got you guys on my phone. I got to set it up so I can have my hand. I don't even have to have my camera on, do I?
Well, I'm talking to Garen Angel right now from Magical Butter. He said he can't join, but he's going to send us a little video about the package that he's going to be sending us. So we're going to be giving away magical butter stuff. Show up at 7:10 and you can win.
Show up to your
There
state
you go.
house.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So Garen Angel said he's sending Lefty and I a package right away for the 7:10. Show up, see what you can win. After we're done, what Lefty, when you're available, when you're ready today, we need to go through our list of who has confirmed with being there on 7:10. We have a long list that we have to go through. So when you're ready, we can go through that.
Has any other state finally gotten a permit yet?
We have the only state that we have for permits so far that I know of are Oregon.
There was one more. Was it Nebraska or Montana?
I don't know. We need to confirm all this.
Yeah, it was either Nebraska or Montana where they were like, "Oh, I'm not far from the state house."
So we have California, Oregon, and New Jersey with a permit. But that's okay. That's why, this is going to take us time to get people on board with this, to be consistent, to be committed to this. This is something that, that has been a struggle for us because we are a nonprofit. We are trying to help the sick and dying. We're not here for money. So it makes it a little bit different for us. So
The hardest part always is getting that person that's actually going to go and put their name down and get the permit.
And so we have Paul Stanford and Honeybee Thomas in Oregon. We have Tony Liberty in California, and we have Lefty Grimes in New Jersey. And then we have a lot of tentative. We need to get some confirmations. So where are you from? What is your name, Mark?
Mike was with
Mike?
the coalition. He's
Oh,
with the
Mike.
coalition for medical marijuana.
Mike's
Oh,
Jersey.
okay. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know who Mike was. Mike, tell me about you.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm a patient. Description.
Where are you from?
65. I'm from South Jersey. And
Okay.
let's see. Yeah. Oh God, cervical spine injury. The things all steel, about 20 screws holding my head on. But each day is
Oh my.
but finding a balances bowling ball up here on my shoulders.
Oh my.
The chronic pain issues have been main interest in how we got involved in this. Well, my personal thing goes back to a neurologist saying, you'd be a good candidate for medical cannabis. It's a shame you live in New Jersey where it's not legal yet. And this is going back about 20 years now. And that's what started me educating my doctors about my diagnosis and symptoms that they were identifying for me. And me giving them an alternative besides the 100 microunits of fentanyl per hour that I was on for 20 years. That patch was wonderful. It kept serum levels straight. It wasn't only recently when Chris Christie got elevated to the drug czar position nationally that it became unavailable in the insurance companies for patients. It was a stable. It worked good. Anyway, that left me with an option of just morphine. There was a handful of other medications that I could try mixing into it. And that's where we started using cannabis, oh God, how many years ago? Yeah, too long ago. And the studies start showing up, and you start seeing more and more anecdotal reports of patients using them to reduce their pain meds. And even although I wasn't on benzos, there's the same anecdotal reports, and now backed up by science, where patients are using cannabis again to reduce the dosage of these medications that have, really long-term side effects. So for cannabis, for me was, not just, it got me out of my perspective today is so much different than it was 10 years ago, just because of the change that cannabis brought into my life. And 10 years ago, you can ask Lefty, I was up there, I'll be on a microphone. I've been out for a while. It's just, going back to, I kind of ramble right now, which I tend to do. Go back.
That's okay.
On June 4th, 2009, I was the first person, it wasn't my choice, but I was chosen to be the first person to give testimony for Akuma back on June 9th, which was, here's my experience with chronic pain, and here's my experience with how cannabis has helped me. Coming up to today, you run back and forth. From my research through McGee and Thomas Jefferson medical libraries, I was able to bring up a lot of PubMed studies, and got all my specialists on board with everything. I had a GP for a few decades who got fired because he wouldn't discuss it with me. He refused, stumped, threw a hissy fit, and stomped out of the room every time I even mentioned the word. It's like, excuse me, doctor, my family is concerned. This is something with the medication.
Wow.
Can help. I refuse to discuss this. And so that got passed around because I started trying to see other doctors in the same practice, and started reacting the same exact manner of stomping their foot, spinning on their heels, and leaving the exam room. And so thanks to New Jersey, they have their little system where you can find a doctor on the website. And I used both systems to find a guy that was in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. And as a GP, I don't know if it's their ignorance or what, but it does help out a little bit with the cost, because he wants to see me twice a year instead of the minimum one, which doesn't bother me because I'm usually seeing him for colds or something else. But I'm sitting there focusing on me right now, how I got here. But it's more important to discuss about the here right now. Patients, many like myself, are forced to use the medical program in New Jersey strictly as a supplement. It's just too expensive. And it's going to remain that way for several years until we can up the number of cultivators by about 400 or 500%. We just don't. I mean, of the 600 over 600 licenses that the CRC has approved, there's really only like 40 of them that are working, that are up and running. And what I really don't see a end to this price issue, cost issue, is the supply and demand. There's no supply in New Jersey. And when you are because of the trade, because of the situation, many of these new shops, even though we just got a couple adult use only dispensaries. And everyone chips in. So your menu opens up and you have everything on there from your own brand to Cureleaf to, Verano and everything else, just so you have product to sell for the customer. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing right now. It's the only thing. But until we're growers, it's going to be a continuing problem in New Jersey, which has been, you got a medical, well, we had a high last year, about 129,000, almost 130,000 patients in the program. It's been monthly, anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000. So you got 2,000 average that's leaving the program every month since then. And the black market fills in. It's just every time there you have an overregulated market, it doesn't matter what the product is. It will always strengthen the legacy market in our case, black market in other cases, which brings along, although we do all know craft growers and loving families, there also is criminal activity that goes on that's not really safe. So what I resent is that the current situation in New Jersey forces many patients like myself to risk their health and their liberty and their safety to go out and get an unregulated product and have to consume that for their own health. And by that wonderful grace that we have, many in the legacy market understand this community supports each other. And without that compassion, I'll tell you, New Jersey's Kuma has no compassion in it at all. It does if you're the wealthy in the state. There you go, buddy. You got some relief, legal relief for you because you can afford it. I can't wait for psilocybin to come aboard because that'll blow off the doors. See, the one thing they're thinking about there therapeutically in England, they're coming out with group therapy. So I don't know if that means going to be group tripping, group trip sitters. That'll be an interesting how that works out.
The ability for people to be able to microdose legally and safely and to have regulated dosages that are microdoses will literally change the game for a lot of people. It'll get people off antidepressants and it'll get people off opiates. And there's just so much that comes around with it.
What I was leaning towards, I guess I take too long to talk, is currently to have a psychedelic therapeutic psychedelic session. It's required that the patient be accompanied by a trip sitter, that the trip sitter and the patient be observed by another member in another room. So either with a mirror or a camera. That'll make me feel real good if I'm looking to anyway. So I'm sure they'll calm the patient down and assure them this is for their own safety. And that's what it is, make sure no one takes advantage of the patient. And then you have a third person, the therapist. Now, each one of those professionals does need to get paid. And that's just going to add to the cost of the therapeutic session. These sessions, which so far, these professionals are used the word cured with previously uncurable situations, PTSD, meth addiction, alcoholism. It's like this miracle either through microdosing or through hero dosing. The big effect has been working with professional afterwards on the integration work. And we got everybody across the place catching fire anecdotally with, let me go out and try it myself. But that's what we're left with today, until this regulation comes in. And well, hopefully Mondays will be a start in getting that on board. However, we are, we got a lot of work to do. So I'll get off my soapbox with that. Thank you, honey. let me ramble there for a little bit.
Oh, that was great. That's exactly what we need on this podcast. And that's why we're here, is to help the patients talk about their stories so we can be the voice for other patients that are like, oh, hey, I have that same problem. I should try that. Oh, hey, that's working for this guy. I should try that. You know, people get scared. They don't want to try. They don't want to experiment. They want to know what's working for other people. And so we really appreciate you being on the show. It just really helps so much. And, you know, we're going to keep on helping, and we're going to keep on being the voice, even though some days it's hard for Lefty and I, and some days he's the only one on the show. But he is consistently on this show. And sometimes I take over, and it might not be the best show, but hey, I'm doing it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the invite, Lefty. I just would have been sitting here going through. I got to work on my testimony for tomorrow and Monday. So you guys be from that.
You know, well, we're excited to hear your speech as well. And if you want to come on here and practice, we're going to be right here every week.
And we can have our own little, what do they call that thing where you get together? They get together every weekly and have meetings.
We have planning meetings.
The public speakers group. There's, I can't think of what it'll come to. I'm not trying to think about it. It's when my brain operates.
Hey,
I think about it. Everything goes right out the ears. What was
right.
that?
Can someone send me the information on where I can send a written testimony for the psilocybin?
Yeah. Sure. It's right in the NJLIS. Excuse me. I get these clicks that create pain in my body.
Oh no.
New Jersey.
Gotta laugh. It's pain lets us know we're alive. Not a piece.
New Jersey leg.gov, right?
There you go. NJLG.gov. Let me see, I can pull up the same thing here. There might be a different one because tomorrow is S353. And that is the legislation about growing, possessing up to 6 plants and up to 10 plants for medical use. So
why did they put out the patient bill first? Why did we get the recreational bill that may not pass? The patient bill will pass.
This one is the the bill that I'm seeing, 353 for tomorrow, is one of Troy Singleton's bills. And it could be me. Maybe I looked at the wrong page. But how many co-sponsors do you see on that? Lefty, you might be able to bring it up. I'm trying to bring it up now. And it just won't cooperate. I got you on the screen. All right. This bill has them thrown together. Okay, and if it doesn't have co-sponsors, it doesn't have legs. This is what I meant earlier in my ramblings when I said this might be just thrown out as a piece of raw meat to the homegrown enthusiasts to give us, okay, we got our hearing, yay. And then the bill disappears because it had no co-sponsors to begin with. So there was, I think, 343, Jim Miller's and Joanne Zeta are way up on this. I know I try to help, but that's something that I'm concerned about, just seeing that the bill comes up. Troy Singleton has been a main proponent for home grow, Vinco Pop, and the bills that they have, there's one that's building up. It actually has bipartisan support and several co-sponsors on both sides. But that is not S353. And as soon as I can get to that legislative site, I'll do what I can to bring that information up. I'm using this for my phone right now, so I'm kind of limited on screen space here.
Yeah, we're
Oh.
on all kinds of. I'm on my tablet, my phone. Yeah, you're doing a great job, and we really appreciate you being on here.
It's a Senate for tomorrow, right? Senate?
Yeah, room 4, I think.
And Tony, you got your information, so you can send a letter.
No, I was
Hold on.
holding to hear the website officially.
I don't see
Yeah.
it. I'm trying to find it here.
Hold on, I got.
And
As far as tomorrow, it's the Senate Judiciary, 9 a.m. Committee Room 4, first floor, State House Annex. All right, so we got the chair is Senator Stack, Vice Chair Senator Powell, Nellie Powell.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any of that.
The committee will take testimony from invited guests and members of the public on issues concerning the implementation of recreational cannabis in New Jersey. Yeah, hold on. It's cut it out. This. Okay, I really have no idea what I'm doing with this screen.
What's the bill number?
Act 353.
Thank you.
What is it? 353?
Yes. What do I got here? Okay, legislature committee. Oh, that's the whole general. Oh no, here it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, I take that back. It does have some. Oh, that's the committee members. I'm sorry. I thought those were sponsors.
The co-sponsors are Deegan, Turner, Stanfield, Zwicker, and
Oh, good. Then I was wrong. The more people we get to support, assembly and senators, because they have a companion bill in the assembly.
Oh yeah, I do see co-sponsors: Deegan, Turner, Stanfield, and Zwicker.
Good.
And it's Gopal and Singleton are the primaries.
Yeah, and Singleton's office is like 3 blocks from my house, and Stanwick's is about 3 miles. So I gotta go knock on doors right now and say, "Hi guys, what do you need from me?" I don't know. You guys,
that's what we're doing next. We're gonna start knocking on doors.
We want to get this.
Listen to us here. We're gonna start knocking on doors there.
Yeah. Well, it does help, for advocates to get to know not just who their legislator is, but who the committee or their legislators' staff members, the head of staff. Real important to get to know them. And send them a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or something. Just get to know, and you get a relationship going. Not so much, it's them, those greedy bastards, but that you get a voice that can be heard. And so I don't know. I'm talking about general advocacy 101 there.
Well, that's okay, because you know what? We get new listeners all the time, and this is great. It's not repeat, it's just consistency. So you're doing great. Thank you.
No problem. You get that. I don't know. We need to have a real lobby day in Trenton sometime. And we start with lobby days, but a lot of people don't understand. If you're going in to talk with your, when in Rome, you get a lot more people shut you down because I'm wearing a tie-dye shirt than if I'm wearing a jacket and a tie.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
It's 2 different.
It's very sad and unfortunate.
I testified in a dirty hoodie and got death threats for it.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's something that, it's like people going through a normal thing and don't understand why are all the lawyers here? It's like, it's the names. There's an organization to reform marijuana laws. So we got lawyers to do that. Oh, okay. oh, that made so much sense.
Right.
But yeah, that was something though I got to experience personally from years of paying for my quote membership dues to get my shiny gold lapel pin. And gotta admit, those shiny pot leaf pins are pretty attractive. And but Normal does provide a good tool with letter writing. You know, they have the resources to be able to have the software available for us to get more of a voice. And currently, one of the letters that they have out is about opposing another New Jersey bill that we haven't heard about. If it wasn't for Normal, I never would have heard about it. There's a bill to increase the penalties for underage use of cannabis or underage possession of cannabis. And that was something that was recently changed. You know, again, I got to have that bill in front of me to be able to quote directly for you. But yeah, you can go to normal.org, go to Action, see New Jersey, boom, and it comes up with what bills are there. And you can just click on it, put your name, address in there, and the letter goes off. Many people get put off because usually with the first screen, when you click on after doing all that, is their reach for a couple of bucks from your wallet. But if you you just keep going, and that's just a temporary handout. It does give you not only a copy of the letter, usually you get a reply back from the legislator that you wrote to, and you get copies to share with your friends either on social media. So I don't know. It's a tool that I wish we could all afford to use. The coalition's just too small. But hey, we're effective and we're trying to get some things done here in the state. I wish Tony could fly back here.
You lucky?
Yeah, Tony, just fly back. What's wrong
That's
with
it.
you?
Just do it.
Once I get the spaceship tuned up, I can get there in light speed, you know?
Well, can you get your people coordinated? Because, we did talk about you flying in on your UFO. So you might as well fly to Jersey. You're part of the alien community. So
Transport yourself.
yeah, just transport yourself, Tony. You don't need our helicopter or our plane.
Well,
It's the B-Mobile. The B-Mobile.
My name on Lindsay's. Go ahead.
For Monday morning, though, for the psilocybin bill, you transporting in and appearing there would definitely make an impression.
I thought it was no public.
Well, you can still make an appearance, just don't talk.
Just transport in and out real quick.
I mean, you can still submit written testimony.
Well, that's what I wanted. I can do that from here.
Yes, indeed. Everybody can. And wait a minute, this is still Friday in front.
Have that information so we can share that with people who call in.
Hold on. I just had that 353 home grow in front of me. I'm trying to get to the
down, Lefty.
It's the same address that Lefty gave you earlier.
Okay.
But here.
Oh, great.
Clean it up. There we go. Okay. Monday, June 26th. Let me see. I can just. How do I put that on screen with you guys?
I think you have to be a host.
Okay. Well, right now.
I'll make you a host. Hold on. I'll make you a host.
You can do that.
1 second. Okay, you're host.
Yeah.
You can share whatever.
Okay. How do I do that?
It's on. If you share screen, to be somewhere on the bottom of the Zoom.
Yeah, down on the bottom. There'll be a pop up somewhere.
Let's see. Back to the Zoom. I got it. And yeah. Come on. There we are. Stop video, participants, reactions, chat. I think I posted on the chat. Oh, there's share.
Share.
Yeah, but it's about sharing you guys or sharing me. Oh, cool. It's about. All right. Let's see if I can paste it in there. Boom. How's
Boom.
that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
So
First
much.
time I learned something new.
Oh, yeah. So you
We're
just want to read
advanced.
that? Great. Do you want to
That's
just
cool.
read that to us so people?
This is New Jersey Legislature, Senate Health and Human Services and Senior Citizens, Monday, June 26, 2023, 11 a.m. Committee Room 1, first floor, State House Annex, Trenton, New Jersey. Chair is Senator Joseph Vitale. Vice Chair, Senator Fred Madden. Let's see. This is the Senate Health, Human Services, and Senior Citizens Committee will hear testimony from invited speakers on the research and benefits of clinical psilocybin use. Now, I know I have people that have been asked to give testimony a couple weeks ago, and as a patient, I hopefully he gets that submitted in time. But committee members.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we got Joe Vitale, Chair, Fred Madden, Vice Chair, Renee Burgess, Richard Cody, Edward Durr, Vin Gopal, Holly Shepese, and Robert Singer. The aides and their phone numbers.
Oh, wow. Lefty.
Yeah. So I just paged down on what I sent you guys. It's right on that same screen.
Oh, that's great. I can see it clear here in Oregon.
Okay.
Keep on going. You're doing great.
All right. And now what I'm doing here is at the bottom, there's a link. Bill's currently referred to the SHH. And that kind of gets nuts because I did that the other day and I thought that there was 12 pages of bills being heard on both days. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much there's a Medicaid bill for medical right now to get patients on Medicaid to have it covered. And my favorite, S313, let's see, Sam and Jay, I'm not sure. Ed, were you there last March 10th, 2022? We went up and gave testimony support of 313, which was for the New Jersey health insurance plans. Senior Gold, the PAAD, which is the pharmaceutical aid for the aged and disabled. To cover it right now, the way the plan goes is all your medications are only $5 or $10 copay. They coordinate with your other insurances if you have them. If not, still $5 or $10. To be able to have that available for cannabis, phenomenal. It'll help so many more patients. I'm sorry, than home grow. Don't mean anything bad about home grow. But this is something that can move people. We're down to about 100,000 patients right now. And I said, we were only up to 130 for a population of over 9 million people, 9 million citizens in the state. We can look at the qualifying conditions. You can look up how many people in the state diagnosed with those conditions. Where are they? Not everyone's looking for cannabis. I understand that. It's not a panacea to cure all ills either. And we all understand that. But here's something where the actual needless suffering of patients it's a carrot being hung out the window to them that they just can't get to. And I'm left with thank God for my friends in the legacy market. But am I allowed legal in New Jersey to take my legacy sample to a laboratory and have it analyzed? Can I get my own little COA on what I purchased? It might end up costing the same as what I pay at the legal dispensary. However, that peace of mind for people that are, suffering stage 4 liver cancer. Well, I got a girl that is dear to me, and that's her situation. She is begging for right to try psilocybin in New Jersey. This is an EOL issue for her. We're especially when headlines are popping up all the time about people with seniors or sick with end of life issues that are finding peace of mind through psychedelics. And they hear this, and it's like, I need that peace of mind. For anyone that's enjoyed the experience, you're able to put that ego aside, that disillusion. You're able to see not just the issues and concerns of your life. You're able to face, they're going to face you. You can't run from them, but you're able to see the blessings as well. And I think this medicine that we have right now with plant medicine is so much moving along those lines of, praises go up and blessings come down. But I'm not going to go down that garden path right now. I want to keep this on. We got people that are needlessly suffering. These bills can significantly change that. But it's all just a chink in this massive, it's a lot Sisyphean, you're pushing that rock up the hill every day. Don't need to tomorrow morning have to go back down and pick it back up again. So,
Michael, can you unshare your screen?
Unshare it. I didn't know.
Well, we don't need to.
Didn't know I had
Before we go past this, can someone kind of give me some direction on how I submit this written statement? Because I'm struggling to find it here.
Oh, is there anything more to look at here?
I mean, I pulled it up on the computer. I got Senate Health and Human Service Senior Citizens, Committee Room 1, first floor, State House Annex. Then I click on membership. Then it goes into the Senate Health and Human Services and Senior Citizens, and they've got, here's the schedule maybe.
I'm looking to...
And then I got Monday, June 26, 2023, Committee Room 1, but I'm not finding any way to where I can put, I don't see it at all.
All right. What I want to bring up is, let's see if I can get Michael Franke. He's or Justin Lucero. The OLS. There you go. You go down to where committee aids are.
Yep.
And click this. You see OLS, and there's a little envelope next to it.
Yep.
And then I think you can hit the pen. Oh, wait a minute. No, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it looks like I'm expecting an email to come up, but no. Electronic correspondence to committee aid. Yep, here it is.
That's the spot right there. Beautiful.
Bingo. Send her name, email address, type your message, email subject, submit.
Beautiful. Thank you for helping me find that.
Hey, thank you for helping me find it. Kind of how this community thing works a lot of times.
Sweet. Okay, you can unshare now.
All right.
Everybody, I want to see everybody.
Wait. As soon as I figure that out, I'll stop share.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, there's Lefty.
There we go.
We got someone walking down the sidewalk. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
There's a huge group of activists here. I believe it's for water. And I see it's a CWA guy. Yeah, they have blue shirts on. And I
River
think
Keepers?
The CWA is going to be here, I believe, too. Interesting.
All right. Oh, let's see what's on the agenda for today at the State House. You might be able to meet some allies. How's that?
I'm going to walk in. I have a letter to bring to Scutari in the Senate Majority Office.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's for home grow.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? I hope I have a surprise guest in like 5 minutes or so. So we'll see. He said he's at a conference. So he said I can get in. I can call in like a little while. So we'll see. He's a busy person. I've been trying, but he's sending us a magical butter machine. So go to your
Yeah.
state house July 10th and you can win a magical butter machine.
Nice.
Garen's cool people. Definitely
he's
cool
great.
people.
Yeah, he said he's going to be on in like 5 minutes. So, you should stay on and you can talk to him. Yeah.
Chris has worked with Garen for years too.
Yes. Chris is great. I talked to Chris. I talked to him on the phone actually. And I was telling him about my other project that I'm doing, which is the Children's Business Fair that I'm having August 19th.
Okay.
In Wood Village, Oregon. And what it is a one-day marketplace for young entrepreneurs to sell their product or service.
Very cool. That's
Yeah, so go ahead.
can't help you now. Conversations go, especially with potheads. Oh, August 19th. Yeah, there's a little link. What I'm doing then. Lefty, you might want to get in on this. We're not sure. It's just starting to congeal. I have the event space. The event is so far more for patients' rights in New Jersey. Hopefully, this between now and August changes. But I know I'll be speaking. Whether we put together a panel like we did before. Lefty was part of, you remember the Union Hall down in Berlin? Ed, you there?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, well, August 19th, I'll be doing something there. There, I get my phone together. So as soon as I get together some more information with Hugh, I'll pass it on to you. All right?
Oh, wow.
And yeah, if we do anything, it might be a fundraising event either for CMNJ's, just basically a patient's fundraiser. So.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I gotta go. I have my state board person on the other line. So I don't know how to put you on hold. So I'm probably going to disappear. Later, folks.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
You can always come back. All right. So that was really cool. How did you meet him?
He's been coming out to the State House for many years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he brings his little hot dog, he's got a little Dutch hound.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, they're so cute. He's
Aww.
he's been coming out here forever.
Oh, well, that's great. I love to hear stories like that because
the board member of the CMMNJ. And
I probably met him before then because I went to one of their board member meetings with Joanne.
So yeah, he comes out here when he's not feeling well too, and he's had issues because we push ourselves as patients to do activism a lot of times.
Yes, we do, and sometimes we can't make it. And I'm home. I had to go outside and medicate because I can't medicate in my house. Which, see, that's the problem in Oregon. I can't medicate in my house. And so I have to go outside. So I'm taking that right to Salem, Oregon. And that is one of my big deals. I want to be able to smoke inside or smoke outside. I want to be able to smoke inside. See?
Wherever you want.
I want to smoke wherever I want. I still do, but okay, hold on. Okay, so I had to turn off my alarm clock, sorry. But so can we go down the list of who we have for each state? So do you have it in front of you?
No.
No, I don't have it, you know, because I don't have my own house and my living situation is compromised. All my stuff is here and there because
Patrick.
Patrick's calling in.
Patrick.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, my man? How are you?
Welcome.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't have my volume up.
Hey, Patrick,
Okay.
how are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm absolutely fantastic, man. Yourself?
Good. Well, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm still out here fighting for home grow rights and for disability access. So we're still out here. Why are we still out here? Because we don't have home grow in New Jersey. That's why we're still out here. And it's pretty sad, but that's what we're going through here in Jersey.
Yeah, and I think that Pennsylvania is going to be following in your footsteps. We have a new bill that was just introduced that would make patient access a lot easier. However, one of the provisions that was not addressed was home cultivation, and the bill, simply reinforced the language that only a license holder may cultivate and distribute. So, it's going to be a long slog here in Pennsylvania as well. And I just, I'm worried about shenanigans in our Republican-controlled Senate. Where they can put the kibosh on any type of legislation moving forward. And so far, that's what we've had. We've not gotten a single, floor vote on anything that has moved through the legislature.
I know you're making some headway as far as like with the patients. Is there a from what I understand, if you're a medical patient and you're pulled over and you tell a cop that you're a medical patient, you show him your card, you're going to get a DUI.
That is correct. This is what I consider to be the single most important issue facing Pennsylvania's over 425,000 active patient community. See, here in Pennsylvania, we have what's called zero tolerance DUI for any Schedule I controlled substance or its metabolites. That means that if a motorist is operating a motor vehicle with any detectable amount of either Delta-9 THC or carboxy THC, the non-psychoactive metabolite, then that is per se DUI without any proof of impairment required. And this has been a glaring issue that we have been trying to fix since 2018. But unfortunately, we just cannot get any type of bill moving through the legislature. We did have Senate Bill 167 get voted out of the Transportation Committee in the Senate in the last legislative session. There was not enough time for it to get to the full Senate floor or over to the House. That bill has been reintroduced this legislative session and is just sitting in committee. It has not advanced. I don't know why. And in the meantime, I continue to have clients who, I have two clients right now. They both were epileptic, suffered a seizure, and as law enforcement was investigating and trying to get their identification, found their patient identification card. Next thing you know, these patients are coming to in the hospital with a cop standing there with a form to consent to a blood draw. And both of them said, hey, I knew I wasn't impaired. I hadn't used medical cannabis that day, so I consented to the blood draw. Next thing you know, I got a DUI. And unfortunately, here in Pennsylvania, there is no defense to that. The best I can do is if there's no Delta-9 THC and the carboxy THC is so low, I may be able to convince a sympathetic prosecutor that this person clearly had not used for a few days prior to the traffic stop. But this is something that affects the entire Pennsylvania medical patient community. And I just told you that there was a new bill that was introduced that was going to address some issues within our Medical Marijuana Act. It specifically does not touch DUI, which is incredibly frustrating.
That's the number one thing for patients. And it's one of the reasons why I'm afraid to drive in Pennsylvania as a patient. I've heard horror stories from other patients. My one buddy hit a deer and did the right thing, waited for the cops to come, and then got a DUI because from just telling the cop that he was a patient.
Yep, exactly. So what I tell every single Pennsylvania patient who will listen is never, ever, ever reveal medical cannabis patient status to law enforcement. You are not required to incriminate yourself, and knowing that we have zero tolerance and that law enforcement will proceed with the DUI investigation if they learn that you're a medical cannabis patient, you have absolutely no obligation to tell a police officer anything about your medical conditions or what you're using to treat. Just never reveal it. And unfortunately, you have a lot of patients who believe that law enforcement, you're supposed to trust law enforcement, you're always supposed to be honest with a police officer, and they get disabused of that notion very, very, very quickly. And in Pennsylvania, a third offense within 10 years is a mandatory sentence of 1 year incarceration in the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. So this is serious, and it escalates fast.
That is scary. Are there other states this draconian?
There are 12 other states. The majority of states in the United States require proof of actual impairment, including states like Texas that have no cannabis legalization whatsoever. So Pennsylvania is 100% the outlier in this area. And we have general support for the notion that proof of impairment should be required. The Pennsylvania District Attorneys Association supports this. The Pennsylvania DUI Association supports this. And even the Pennsylvania State Police provided testimony at the one hearing that we had in the Transportation Committee that requiring proof of actual impairment would not interfere with their mission to keep Pennsylvania roadways safe from impaired drivers. So we all agree about it. It's got bipartisan support. It's a bipartisan bill. There's a companion bill introduced in the House by Representative Chris Rabb, but we're going nowhere. And every day that this bill does not advance is another day where a medical marijuana patient who is not impaired is jammed up by some cop who wants to manufacture a DUI because they don't like the fact that medical marijuana exists.
I'd like to know the other 12 states, because we, for 7/10, July 10th, we're having a Zoom call like this, but with all the states involved, like Oregon, Nebraska, Montana, Texas, you name it. We have about 22 states so far. And what we're trying to do is put together a patient bill of rights that includes all of these things that patients need in each state, including what you're talking about as far as, this DUI thing is. It's the craziest thing I ever heard of. It keeps me out of PA. Like, I'm afraid to go to PA because of that. As a patient, just because I'm a patient.
I agree with you. We are all DUI 24/7, 365. If we are using medical cannabis authorized by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and operate a motor vehicle. And what's worse, if you're operating a motor vehicle with a child, you're going to get charged with endangering welfare of children. I mean, it is a very, very serious issue. And, one of many issues, because when we talk about something like a patient bill of rights, other things that we need to think about, housing protection, for example. Here in Pennsylvania, a medical cannabis patient has no housing protection whatsoever. And if a landlord writes into the lease that no Schedule I or Schedule II narcotics are permitted on the premises, medical cannabis is still Schedule I in Pennsylvania. So that means that patient, would lose their housing. And there's nothing that would require a landlord to accommodate consuming medical cannabis in any type of rental property. So that's a big issue that patients are dealing with here in Pennsylvania, and there's no remedy on the horizon for that. Employment issues, very, very important. Here in Pennsylvania, we do have some employment discrimination protections, but what we don't have is something like a fee shifting statute, where a successful attorney on behalf of medical cannabis patient has their legal fees reimbursed by the employer who discriminated against the employee. Issues like that would be very significant in, kind of corralling employers who are just thinking, oh, we're free to discharge the pothead and nothing can happen to us. Other issues that I think we need to have addressed in Pennsylvania, we do have some custody protections. So if you're going through custody litigation, merely being a medical cannabis patient is not a relevant factor unless your medical cannabis use interferes with the best interests of the child. But we don't have the corresponding protection for a parent going through dependency proceedings. And that's where a child protective agency would bring an action against the parent, saying that that parent is not providing adequate care for the child solely on the basis of being a medical cannabis patient. So we do have a number of other important issues. Now, I don't know if this is something that you deal with in New Jersey very much, but here in Pennsylvania, Second Amendment rights are important to many Pennsylvanians who are hunters and veterans and things like that. And we're not going to get a fix necessarily in just by amending Pennsylvania law without it being rescheduled federally, or at least descheduled federally. But that's another important issue for a lot of medical cannabis patients, and it causes a lot of otherwise eligible medical cannabis patients, especially among our veterans community, to say, you know what, if there's a chance that I'm going to lose my Second Amendment rights, then I'm not going to participate in this program. And that's a real shame. They should not have to be, asked to choose between using medical cannabis and fundamental constitutional rights.
I believe what you have to do is get your gun first, get all your guns first, and then get your medical card. And then you're not lying on any forms. I believe that's the order you have to do it.
Yes, but then the issue becomes, look at what Hunter Biden is going through. If there's some ability to show that at the time that you did make this application, you were in fact a consumer of a controlled substance, that can be a violation of federal law. And setting aside constitutional challenges to felon not to possess or illegal user of a controlled substance not to possess, even if you, let's say you purchase the firearm, then get a medical marijuana card, you're still in violation of federal law by using medical cannabis because it is a Schedule I controlled substance. Now that has been declared unconstitutional in a case out of Oklahoma. It was actually a cannabis consumer that was federally prosecuted for being in possession of a firearm. That is going to be going up before the United States Supreme Court. And here in Pennsylvania, a felon not to possess a firearm, the federal criminal prohibition was recently declared unconstitutional. So, we may be encountering this interesting area where the Venn diagram for cannabis consumers and Second Amendment advocates overlap significantly.
So yeah, we have similar issues. We're looking for insurance coverage also in New Jersey. We want our medicine covered by insurance, and because it's a recommendation and not a prescription, that's the other issue.
Yeah, we have the same thing here in Pennsylvania. And what's interesting is recently Pennsylvania's Commonwealth Court ordered that a workers' compensation carrier provide reimbursement for medical marijuana expenses. And it noted that while our Medical Marijuana Act says that an insurer is not required to pay for medical cannabis, our act does not say an insurer shall not, or an insurer is prohibited from. And that opened it up a little bit for the Commonwealth Court to feel comfortable requiring a workers' comp carrier to reimburse. Now, not to actually purchase the Schedule I controlled substances up front, but to reimburse the patient for the costs of their medical cannabis. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court did not take it up on appeal, so that's the law of the land in Pennsylvania right now, which was a significant win for patients who find themselves on workers' compensation.
Was that the Travelers case?
It was Travelers and Apple. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but they came out about 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I believe I spoke to the guy on the podcast. I have to give him a call. That's pretty amazing. It was amazing that I could probably submit my medical cannabis to my insurance and see what happens. Let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, and and I'd like to, our Commonwealth's court, parsing the language of the medical marijuana statute and being able to say, you know what, it doesn't prohibit insurers from providing coverage. It just says they are not required to, and they came down with a very patient-friendly ruling.
Yeah, they were paying through, I believe it was Cannabis. It was an online ordering service. They were ordering through an online service, Cannabis, and that's how they were paying for it. And for a long time, they were paying for it. Then they stopped paying for it, and that's when they had to go to litigation. And he won. He won the case. So cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I've been paying for my cannabis. We have overpriced cannabis here in New Jersey. I don't know about Pennsylvania, but it's overpriced, and sometimes it smells like hay, and we don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your per unit retail prices are, but Pennsylvania has some of the highest per unit prices for medical cannabis, for cannabis anywhere in the nation. There are adult use states that are charging less than Pennsylvania is for medical cannabis. And one of the points of this new bill that was introduced by Senator Regan is to try to reduce some of the costs being faced by our license holders, in the hope that trickles down to patients with more affordable products. Some of our license holders here are trying to introduce lower priced brands or lower priced products to patients, and with some success. Full disclosure, my wife works for Cresco Labs, and one of their brands is called Supply, and they offer small bud flower at $200 an ounce. Is it the greatest flower? Not necessarily, but when premium flower from Pennsylvania cultivation facilities is going for $65 an eighth, it's a more reasonable and affordable option for patients, especially patients that may be using the flower to make their own oils and to infuse their own edibles, and aren't necessarily looking for the biggest and prettiest nugs before they put them through the extraction process.
Yeah, I use a lot of wax myself, and it's helpful for my back pain. So I get the cheapest wax. I don't get the crazy the diamonds or the the fancy stuff. I just get whatever the cheapest wax is that's going to help my pain, and that's what I get, because I'm a patient. I can't afford. I'm on a fixed income like everybody else, and I can't afford these prices at the dispensaries. I just can't.
I'm hoping that number one, patient costs will come down. And I know that a lot of license holders were really counting on the banking bill to pass, which would significantly reduce costs of doing business. Again, hopefully passing those on to the patients. But in the meantime, seeing, at least here in Pennsylvania, more of an effort to find lower quality, or not lower quality, but lower cost product options for patients. And Pennsylvania also has a low-income patient financial reimbursement program, but right now that is only limited to $50 a month to certain seniors who qualify for assistance. I'm not exactly sure what that requirement is, but it should expand to all patients.
Right on. Yes, so we're taking 710 back for patients. We feel in New Jersey, and probably in Pennsylvania too, that we've been stepped over. It's all about the money now. Like I said, cancer patients go to jail for 5 years in New Jersey, even though we legalized it for recreational use. Why are we still here? Because we're going to jail. Where's the social equity for? There's a man in Hackensack who was growing cannabis in his backyard. Black man growing cannabis in his backyard. Where's his social justice? He's going to lose everything he owns now.
Question for you: in New Jersey, is unregulated or unlicensed sales treated just the same way it was before legalization as felony drug trafficking?
Yes. it is decriminalized, and you're allowed to gift up to an ounce, and you're allowed to hold 6 ounces. But yeah, if you're selling a bunch of weed, you're going to get trafficking charges.
And, if you're growing, since you have no home grow, if you're growing, any amount of plants, then you're looking at felony manufacturing, I assume. Is that right?
Yes, 5 years for the cancer patient growing his medicine.
Yeah, that's one thing that really concerns me in Pennsylvania. And, something that I have advocated before, to have some type of sliding scale of civil penalties before moving into criminal penalties. Like there's simply a difference between, let's assume Pennsylvania does not permit home cultivation or limits home cultivation to patients only. Well, okay, fine. I'm not a patient. I'm growing 10 plants. Give me a civil fine, potential forfeiture of product. But if I'm growing 1,000 plants, then that perhaps crosses into the level of criminal prosecution. But what's absurd to me is if you legalize it and then continue to use criminal statutes that prohibit the possession, distribution of Schedule I controlled substances. That just doesn't seem to that doesn't seem to make sense. And I don't know, what New Jersey defense practitioners are doing, but if my client was charged with, cultivating or distributing a Schedule I controlled substance, aka marijuana, cannabis, I'm going to court saying, wait a minute, that's unconstitutional because we legalized it in New Jersey. I'm not sure how we're going to be dealing with that in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we got problems here in New Jersey with that one, and so that's our deal. For 710, we're trying to get as many states involved as possible. We're hoping that on 710 you can spend maybe 10, 15 minutes with us.
Oh,
right, Honeybee?
oh yes.
Well, it would be
Yes. Is there any way you can go to your state capital? No,
No.
you can go to your state capital on
That's
that
very
day,
far.
sir.
That's far. That's
Yeah,
Harrisburg.
sorry, that's 3.5 hours for me, and I'm
Oh, okay.
I'm a full-time attorney, so I can't just pop
Oh,
off
you are?
to Harrisburg.
Well, I've never met you before. I'm Honeybee from Oregon,
That's a
and
pleasure. I know we're acquainted on Facebook.
oh, great! I figured we were. So we're going to Salem, Oregon, with Paul Stanford on 710 to be the voice of Oregon there. So I'm pretty excited about that. And so that's what I do out here. I'm an advocate, and I am, you probably heard all about me. Sativa Cross West Bureau or Division West Division. I don't know.
You
So
probably know Paul Stanford. Everybody knows Paul Stanford. He's helped a lot of patients out there in the West Coast. Very helpful.
he couldn't be on today. And so we're just glad that you could be on. I was on one of Paul's shows, and his guests were the first 2 people in Oregon to take the classes that they needed to take for them to open a mushroom psilocybin store in Oregon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, we have a lot of great connections in Oregon, and Paul has a lot of people on his shows. He's been doing it since the 80s, it seems like. I think 80s, I don't know, a long time, many years. So I met them. I was the camera lady for his TV show in Oregon. It's now I forgot the name of it that I'm trying to say what it is. Paul Stanford, what is it? But yeah, he had them on there and talking about all the requirements that they had to go through to open a store. So, if you guys have questions with them, I could connect them onto the show, see what works here, what's working here, if you guys need help with that as well. That's why we're doing 710 is we're doing this nationwide. We're going to work on a cannabis patient bill of rights. And so we can get on board with what works and what doesn't work, because we don't need to have each state try to create things that are already working in other states and try to create things that are already not working in other states so we can help with the positive and help prevent the negative. And because Oregon's been legal for a while, and so Oregon's been legal before New Jersey, and we cannot smoke everywhere that you can smoke. There's so many things wrong with that.
Well, I'm in Pennsylvania and we can't smoke anywhere. Smoking is specifically prohibited under our medical marijuana law, though this bill that has been recently introduced and passed out of the Senate Law and Justice Committee would permit smoking of cannabis. And it's one of the things that just drives patients nuts because they fundamentally don't understand, what do you mean I can't smoke medical cannabis? That makes no sense to me. What's the logic in that? And the logic in that is because some, curmudgeony Republican, House representative in 2015 said, oh, we don't smoke medicine. So that's out, without any basis or proof for it. I have an interesting, little anecdote about Oregon and, following up on the question that I had about how New Jersey treats unlicensed or unregulated sales. And they treat it, the same as they did before as a criminal case. I had a client who was busted receiving 15 pounds of illicit cannabis from Oregon. And in Pennsylvania, 15 pounds is a pretty serious felony and you can go to jail for that. And the trooper said, listen, I don't want to do anything with this weed. I don't want to jam your client up. The guys from Oregon just want to talk to him because they want to figure out where this is coming from because they're dealing with a loss of revenue from, unregulated sales. They're not looking to charge the grower. They're not looking to charge the guy that mailed it to your client. They're just trying to, do revenue capture because that's, what it's come down to with how much cannabis was being grown in Oregon. So my client ended up speaking with the Oregon law enforcement. They said, fine, great, we're not going to take any action on this. And my guy here in Pennsylvania took 15 pounds of weed and threw it in the incinerator for him. So at least we're seeing some progress. But when I was talking to the Oregon officers, I'm like, are you initiating a criminal investigation? And they're like, no, at this point, all we care about is trying to, reduce the amount of illicit cannabis out there because we have so much and, our businesses are losing money. Like, well, that's bet you didn't see yourself in, that position as a law enforcement officer 10 years ago.
Wow.
Right. I went to the Oregon police station asking them where I could smoke, and they're like, just don't let anyone see you.
Smell you.
Just go out of the way. It was decrim back in 1973, so a long time ago. So they don't really care.
Well, one thing that's nice here in Pittsburgh, Allegheny County is the second largest county in Pennsylvania, and Pittsburgh is the county seat. We have a new district attorney who will be taking office in January, who's more along the lines of a Larry Krasner, and who has told me that he will not permit any prosecution of cannabis possession, small amount, that he won't prosecute a few plants. He said, obviously, if your client's got a truckload of weed, Pat, we're prosecuting them. But other than that, we don't give a shit. So practically speaking, once he takes over, then cannabis will be de facto legal in Allegheny County. So that'll be nice.
Right. That will just cause less havoc. And, I'd rather people smoke cannabis instead of drinking alcohol or doing drugs. Seriously. I mean, please.
So tomorrow, on 2 days' notice, they're having a bill put up for a hearing for home grow. It's not the home grow for patients; it's home grow for everybody. It's adult use, 6 plants for adults, and then 12 plants for patients. And that's tomorrow. And then on Monday, they're having a bill for psilocybin, a psilocybin hearing, and they're having home grow for psilocybin. You can grow your own mushrooms at home. So They put the
Yeah, I know
homegrown bill up.
Pennsylvania is not quite ready for the psilocybin conversation. I mean, we're having a hard enough time talking about cannabis.
I
It's
can't
like-
believe that we have home growth for mushrooms, but not home growth for cannabis.
Right.
That
How
doesn't
did
make any
mushrooms
sense.
sneak right in? Seriously, how did that happen? I don't know.
They snuck it
just-
in. They really did.
They totally snuck that in. Like, how long has that been on the board? Like, in the works compared to cannabis?
Just a couple of years ago, not even, maybe a year and a half ago. And the home grow for mushrooms really gets me because that's what they talk about, home grow for mushrooms. And it's like, well, what about patients
No,
who've been asking for home grow for 10 years now, 12 years now? Crazy.
because how many people are going to grow at home for mushrooms?
insulting.
Seriously, how many mushroom growers are out there? Can you raise your hand?
I
That
will.
would be none of us.
I will.
Okay, well then raise your hand. So one of three. You know, I'm not going to grow them. I'd
I
grow
mean,
weed,
I haven't taken mushrooms in years, but I'll grow them if I'm allowed to.
and so you're going to grow enough just like you would cannabis. It's not like, well, I
You-
guess some people are microdosing. That's why.
Yeah, can you
So
freeze
I guess
them? I guess
we're
you could
going to
freeze them.
microdosing now. Yeah, freeze dry. So we're going to microdosing. See, we just don't know the benefit of that either. But still, it
I
just
know my
slid
friend-
right in. It slid right in.
I know my friend used it. He had stage 4 cancer. At the end of his life, he was taking mushrooms, and it helped him. So
Oh,
it
that's
helped him.
great.
So I can't argue with that. It's anecdotal. I don't care. It helped my friend through his cancer.
Well, this is when we need Tony back on the show. Where did Tony go? Oh, Tony. He's on his UFO flying to New Jersey right now, right?
But Patrick, thank you so much for coming on here.
Yes, thank
Uh,
you so much.
It's my pleasure. Just shoot me a message about 710 and I'd be happy to come back and join you.
Yes, sir. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And good luck out there. I know you're fighting a good fight, and you're helping a lot of people, though.
Well, we're trying. I mean, it's frustrating to not be able to, have a way to communicate with our entire patient community. But, we try to get patient information out there as best we can with, the avenues that are available to us. So, thanks for having me on, and talk to you in July.
Thanks, Patrick.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Heidi.
Do you have a way people
Bye.
can get in touch with you, like a website or anything you want to
Oh,
promote?
yes. www.patricknightingale.com. Email is pknlaw@mac.com, and PKN Law on social media.
There you go. Thanks, Patrick.
All right. Thank you very much, man. Take care.
Patrick Nightingale, everybody.
Oh, well, that's great. How did
And
you
believe
meet
me,
him?
Yeah, well, he's a really good attorney out in Pennsylvania. He's probably the #1 cannabis attorney in Pennsylvania. Number
Oh,
one.
that's,
Nobody better.
oh, wow.
So, and you can see what he's up against. You hear this? He's up against
Yeah.
the wall with his David and Goliath here. Like, it's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
It's crazy. You can't tell a cop you're a patient, or you're going to jail.
Well, at least we are.
Whoa.
This is why we're here. This is why Sativa Cross is here, to help patients. So there you go, everyone. Tip of the day. If you live in Pennsylvania. Oh my, that's I just love listening to the show, being on the show, and meeting new people and learning new things all the time. It's great.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm just checking my messages. I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna jump off in a minute here. We're gonna do because I'm gonna run inside and drop off my paperwork because it's lobby day. It is
Mm.
lobby day here at the State House, so I'm gonna do some lobbying, and I'm gonna go lobby my Senate Majority office with some paperwork. That's what you do
Mm.
here. You lobby. So I'm gonna
Yep.
lobby. I'm gonna clean up everything and lobby. So here, let's end the show. Let's go. Let's do
Okay, I'm gonna say the last part, okay? I'm gonna do last part of the poem. like I did before.
You can donate to sativacross.org and the shop. And sativacross.org. We'll take anything you got because we have to buy ramps. We have to buy a bunch of stuff. We're going to buy a generator so we can clean up Dover, clean up all the glass in Dover. So, yeah, sativacross.org. Help us out.
Mm-hmm.
CMMNJ.org. Cannasense, UFCW, Local 152, JacksonStorms.com, Smoking Monkey, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Pure Puff Lifestyle Shop, and yeah. Oh, Tony.
Magical butter. Magical butter.
Magical Butter.
And we're giving away a magical butter machine.
So if you come to the State House on July 10th, you have a chance to win a magical butter machine.
Yes, in Oregon and in New Jersey.
And yes, that's right. Oregon will have one, and California will have one.
Magicalbutter.com.
We used to have a song for them.
I love that song.
Magical
Avocado
butter.
oil.
Do we have that song,
Better.
Lefty?
How's that go?
Where's your
Hey, come on,
song?
Lefty.
Look on your laptop.
Play that song. It's been
Can you
years.
find it? Can you find it, Lefty?
Butter makes you feel better.
Better.
Right?
Magical
butter.
butter.
Make you feel better.
I gotta find
We're
it.
really
Yeah,
good.
I'll work
You
on
can't
that for
find
next
it.
time. I don't know where
Oh my
it
gosh.
is.
Well, just do a little search.
No,
Garen
we're,
Angel was supposed to be on, but he's at a conference. He did confirm a package being sent out. So we will be giving away a magical butter machine, 710. At least a few.
the package has arrived.
And we will show you. Lefty and I will open the packages and post a video when they have arrived. Should be this week.
They're all new ones too, aren't they? Now they hyped them up a little.
Yeah, they're all fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
still have one of the old original ones that had the handles that broke real easy. I still literally use it. It's all like duct taped back together and has bungee cords on it and stuff. But she still works.
Tony, when Garen's on, I'm gonna text you and call you, and you better get on because you need to tell him that. He was trying to be on today.
I'll be like, Garen, look at this machine you're forcing me to use.
Right.
Doesn't Garen have a mushroom machine too now?
Does he?
He has a growing machine.
Oh, it's a weed machine.
That grows everything. It's just a growing machine.
So
it grows vegetables, herbs.
Does it grow machines?
I'm sure.
Does it grow machines?
It grows magical butter machines.
Well, yeah, he's been farming magic butter machines for a long time.
And now he's, producing the machine of the machines.
Wait, Lefty is the machine of machines.
Oh, show us your guns, Lefty. Show us your guns. You didn't find it?
No, I'm going to read the list.
Okay, go. Hurry. Okay, go.
Cheryl Miller. Why is Cheryl Miller on this list? Because Cheryl Miller used to come out to this state house with her multiple sclerosis and her horrible disease and fight for her rights as a cannabis patient. She was suffering and she would come out here to this state house and fight for her rights. How you doing, man?
The work that Cheryl and Jim did back then, and Mike Brennan for that matter, saved my life.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jim Miller. And William Haney, he used to come out here too. He was out here for Cheryl's candle ceremony.
I miss Mr. Haney.
I know.
Used to love hanging out with him.
I miss Haney.
We should call him sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do call him. I call him all the time.
Call him on the show.
Well, I say, you know what you should do, Lefty, is you should go visit Mr. Haney and then do a little mini podcast with him on there.
Yeah, bring some weed for him.
Yeah, exactly. Bring some edibles and then do a little live stream with him. It would be amazing to see him and talk to him.
Then
you know how many people would be on?
Well, have somebody
Okay.
else drive.
Somebody else has to drive who doesn't use cannabis.
You could hire a driver.
The
Yeah,
higher the
do
driver.
that. Hire a driver.
The higher the driver.
I need to hire a driver, but I don't need a hire driver.
No, not a hire driver.
I need to hire a lower driver.
Oh, funny. Okay, go.
This is not something I rush because I want to make people sad with this list. That's the whole purpose of this list, is to make you feel like shit. Because these are people that died waiting for cannabis. These are people that died as cannabis patients. People like Cheryl Miller, who came out here fighting. I can never say enough about Cheryl because she's one of the reasons I became a cannabis activist instead of a pot activist. Because I just wanted pot to be legal back in the day. And then I met Jim and Cheryl, and I was like, oh, pot's more than just giving you the munchies. It actually has a purpose, and there's an endocannabinoid system in your body. Wow, who would have known that the government lied to us all these years? Wow. Gee. So if the government lied about that, what else are they lying about?
Everything.
Pretty much everything. Cannabis is a great barometer, I find, for politicians and in church. You'd be surprised how many cool people are in church that are like, cannabis users, and how many uncool people there are in church that are non-cannabis users. Like,
Right.
Not everybody in the world is going to be a Christian. So if you're a Christian and you expect the whole world to be a Christian, sorry, it's not going to happen. And you're going to deal with people that are not Christian. And I have to deal with that all the time. I got to deal with all you crazy people. And I'm Christian.
It kills me the large percentage of Christians that are anti-cannabis, yet cannabis is all over the Bible.
Yeah, it sure is.
It sure
Read
is.
the book.
Read the Holy Bible.
Yeah, anointing oil. Look at the recipe for anointing oil. It's like a pound of hashish.
I have anointing oil in my house right now that's 8 years old. It's been aging for 8 years now.
Dude, it's very helpful because when you put frankincense and myrrh with cannabis, it's like a 1-2 punch. It's a 1-2-3 punch. It's great.
If I can, let me tell a quick little anointing oil story. I started making the holy anointing oil back when I was doing sativa cross stuff with Lefty. I still have the same original jar. I just take some, just about every Easter, I pull some out and filter it and bottle it and make these little tiny bottles and label them as KNH BSM. And, I have CRPS too. And there's a girl here down in Santa Cruz that also has CRPS. And her legs, what it is your immune system attacks your nerves, and then your legs feel like they're on fire and they swell up, and it makes it really difficult to walk. And this poor girl was in a wheelchair, not because she was paralyzed, but because her legs had swollen up to like triple the normal size, and she could barely walk, and she was this awful pain. And I sent her several jars of the holy anointing oil and some of the FICO that I make. And she held onto it for like 6 months because she was afraid to use it. She finally was so bad that she was like, I got to just try this stuff. I got to, Tony said it helped him. I got to at least try this. So she started taking little dabs of orally edible FICO every day. And she started rubbing the holy oil on her legs every day, a couple times a day. Fast forward about 7 months, and she's out of her wheelchair, and she's actually just starting to explore the world again, going to the beach, taking hikes. And she swears up and down that nothing for years ever helped her until she started rubbing the holy oil on her legs.
That's why it's in the Bible.
And I need some of that. I need some holy oil for the honeybee.
Holy oil for honeybee. That should be a hashtag.
It should. I'm all for it.
Yeah, that girl Shannon, her name is, down in Santa Cruz. She actually hit me up the other day and said that she was thinking it might be time to go to her first concert in like 5 years. So
No way.
we've been talking about what concert she wants to go to, because she's like at that stage where I was like 10 years ago, where she's like feels better and is starting to like kind of ease back into real life, but she's still really nervous about like going out in public and going into like a big event.
Uh-huh.
But she's slowly coming back. It's amazing to see her come back to life.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I love
That
to hear
is so
stories like
cool.
that.
Yeah, I love to hear stories like that.
Maybe someday we'll get her the courage to come talk on the podcast.
Yeah, most people are just trying to live their lives, man. They're just not trying to be activists. They're not trying to, just trying to live their lives. And I get it. I get it.
Well, that's for her right now, just to be able to go out of the house and like take a hike through. Like the other day, she was on her Instagram story walking through the redwoods, and you could just see it in her face. Like she was just like, "Oh my God, I'm alive again. Like I can go touch a tree. I can leave my house. I can stand up." It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Oh, thanks for sharing that story. That, I'm sure it also helps people that are listening as well. It's
so
real life, dude.
If you
Real
read
life.
read the Bible, and you'll find it throughout the Bible. James, was it James 5:14 talks about praying over sick people and using oil.
Mm-hmm. Like
James what? James 5 what?
James 5:14.
Okay.
You're gonna look it up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then read it.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up then. Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna look it up right then, but I can look it up right now.
do it.
I'm doing
So-
it. I'm doing it.
It's Sativa Cross, honeybee.
Okay. Silly me. James.
Yeah, I always
Okay.
laugh when we talk about cannabis in the Bible. I always say it's like ragu. It's in there.
It's in there.
It's in
What else were they using back then?
5:14. I'm almost there.
Well, acacia, the bark of the acacia tree is DMT. I think that's where the burning bush and the visions of God probably came from. But don't quote me on that.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yes,
Yeah.
go.
Okay, James 5:14. Is anyone among you sick? Let them call the elders of the church to pray over them and anoint them with oil in the name of the Lord. Wow. Well, there you go.
Boom.
Boom. Saved. That's amazing. I really do. When I go to Salem, Oregon, I print out these scriptures on poster board and I put them out, because everything that I do it with God, and God just is amazing and helps me. So I just love to back it up with a scripture, because people who don't understand, I have to just, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Read the Bible.
Read the book.
Mayor Adams. Hey guys. Mayor Adams just talked about how God talked to him 30 years ago and told him he would be mayor at this point in his life. And I'm listening to the conservatives on the radio, kind of like, not kind of poo-pooing it, and I'm like, well, you believe in God, right? And I don't get it. Why they wouldn't believe that God talked to Mayor Adams. Why not? Why would God talk to Mayor Adams?
He talks to us all the time.
Talks to everybody. What are you talking about? Mayor Adams says God talked to him. You got a problem with that? All of a sudden, when you believe in God, then he talked to Mayor Adams. Believe me, God has a message for Mayor Adams. He has a message for everybody. He has a message for you,
Mhm.
you. I'm just pointing at people randomly.
All you have to do is have faith and listen.
Mhm. Listen. There's more to listen, Linda. It's to listen to God.
But like I said, you can't all right. So Mayor Adams is a Christian. He can't act like everybody's a Christian, though. He can't run the city like everybody's Christian, because he's got a lot of people to deal with. So you can't be running, like, you know how the country was made, and it was all these Christians that were like racist Christians, and they didn't like women. They treated women poorly, and women couldn't vote. Well, these are Christians.
Hashtag not a Christian.
These are Christians making the rules because they wanted everybody to be a Christian. Well, not everybody's Christian. I'm sorry. I accept that.
Well, and anyone that's discriminating against or hating other people is not a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Christians used to leave church to go play African Dodger. So what does that tell you? They used to leave church, go to the church fair and play African Dodger. So what kind of Christianity is that?
Right? Oh my.
Do you want me to answer that question?
Yes.
That's Satanism. To see the world we live in is upside down, where the Christians are evil and the Satanists are good.
Well, we
It's just all they did.
Satan.
All they did was switch the names.
To be understanding of Satan and find out why he's so upset and why he's so mad at the world and why he's so angry and evil. We have to help him. We have to help Satan, don't we?
Love one another.
Love Satan, right?
If God is our father, if God is our father, then Satan is our cousin, and I don't understand why people don't understand that.
He's our evil cousin.
He's not evil. He's misunderstood. And he's misunderstood because of the centuries of upside down thinking.
Maybe that's the right way of thinking.
But I tell you what, cannabis is a great barometer in church, because I know a lot of cool people in church that use cannabis, and a lot of people that aren't so cool that don't use cannabis, that don't like anybody that uses cannabis. So it's like the judgmental people, they're still there in church.
Yeah.
Church has come a long way. Church has come a long way. It really has. But especially the music. Music's a lot better. When I was a choir boy, the music was like,
Yeah, I don't remember liking very many songs.
You and Mikey should do a Christian rock tune for Bong Holio.
That would be blasphemy.
Why?
Yeah.
Make a
Sing
pop
about
song.
cannabis.
Take
Think
a pop
about
song.
cannabis and acceptance and peace on earth. It would be amazing.
I can't take a Christian song and no, I can't. It's blasphemy.
No, you don't have
doing
to
it.
say God. You can just say something
Fine.
towards, going
Fine.
to church.
I'll hit Mikey up directly and talk him into it.
Over
Oh
my
my-
head.
Oh my gosh, Lefty.
Thank God for cannabis.
Yeah, there we go. See, we made a God out.
Something like that. Something like that,
All
Lefty.
right. If there's a God song, we'll make it. All right, it's fine.
You can say thank God for cannabis.
I'm going to
You
hell
can
anyway. I got tattoos. I'm going to hell.
Oh, am I too?
Yeah, bro. If you have tattoos, you're going to hell.
Really?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's another common misconception. We're not going to hell. We're there. We're going to heaven.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, good. See, Lefty, I'm
You're
okay.
I know. You're
I'm
right.
okay.
I'm just messing around anyway.
I might
remember
cry
they said,
now.
Remember they said the fallen angel was kicked out of heaven and thrown down to the land of man, which is earth.
Yeah, Lefty, yeah. Wow, telling me I'm going to hell now? Whoa.
Oh,
I'm going to cry.
I repeat, honeybee, you're not going to hell.
I'm not.
We're in hell. We're going to heaven.
Lefty. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're not going to hell. We are there. Oh, yeah.
I love it. I'm on the corner on the State House yelling about God and hell and heaven. I'm that guy. I love it.
And I love it because I'm pacing around my apartment in Santa Rosa yelling about heaven, hell, and God in Trenton.
Going to heaven.
That's funny. I'm in Oregon pacing,
Going to heaven.
yelling.
Oh, hey, you. You're going to heaven. You. Hey, you. You're going to heaven.
Oh, you're in hell.
You're in hell, but you're going to heaven.
Oh,
love
we're
it.
so confused.
I love it. This is great. I'm the
And that's
guy in the
hello from
corner.
Oregon.
I'm the guy in the corner yelling. I love it.
Hello from Oregon.
finally
Hello
that
from
guy.
California. Hello from Jersey.
You gotta
We're
you
all
gotta get
here.
one of those, those like the boards, the billboards that you wear over your shoulders.
Yes.
You got to
Yes.
get one that says the beginning is near.
The beginning is near. You're all.
That's funny. I gotta write that down.
That's great. Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Oh, I am.
You're in hell, but you're going to heaven. Hey,
The,
you.
be- the
You're going to
beginning is
heaven.
near.
The beginning's near.
Remember, just to back up that point. Remember, only the good die young.
Oh no. Well, I'm still young. Bye,
Not
everybody.
old yet.
Oh,
See
boy.
ya.
All right. Sabina Rose, Diane Gracie,
Aw.
Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red,
What?
Rico, Lou,
What?
Becky, Jeff Oak.
Oh,
Was the
thank
kingpin
you
on?
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thorn.
That's. Oh, did I hear? I must have missed it. My phone was chopping it up.
Yeah. Thorne.
Thorn, that's right.
Thorne Peters.
Thorn Peters.
It makes me sad because when we were back there on the stairs in Trenton and whatever it was, 2014, when my friend Troy died, and we put Troy on the list. And now fast forward till today, and that list is so much longer.
So much longer.
Yeah.
I have 2 family members on there. I have my son and my sister.
Mm.
Lefty, you have a few family members too.
Yeah, sure do.
A whole lot of people I knew and loved on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Troy.
Troy, Terry, Jeff, Colette,
Cheryl.
So many people some people I met once and some people I hung out with a lot, and just that list just keeps growing.
Well, I'm going to say the second part, Lefty. I'm ready.
Okay. Thanks everybody for listening, and thanks Tony and Honeybee.
Love you guys.
You guys are the best.
You're welcome. I love you guys too.
They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember
We
them.
will